Now we report live to Alex Tyson in Manila, Philippines.
This is the president's third election since he was first elected. It seems the country has joined hands. As we can hear, many students have begun the People Power Revolution with a series of non-violent and prayerful mass street demonstrations in the Philippines. It was the inspiration of non-violent demonstrations around the world, including those that ended communist rule in Eastern Europe. This ritual is also referred to as the Yellow Revolution due to the presence of yellow ribbons during the arrival of Ninoy Aquino. These protests were the culmination of a long resistance by the people against the 20-year regime of the President Marcos. The majority of the demonstrations took place at Epifanio de los Santos Avenue in Quezon City. Metropolitan Manila involved over 2 million Filipinos civilians as well as several political, military, and religious figures, such as Jaime Cardinal Sin. These protests, fueled by a resistance of opposition of years of corrupt governance by Marcos. We found the President Marcos leaving the Malacañang. Mr. Marcos, what is the reason behind the malice between you and your opposing party?
People accuse me of graft and corruption when in fact I'm just doing my job as the President of the Republic. I had the military take over the country as well, but they refused to believe that it was an effective way of discipline. I really don't get it. I believe that fear should somehow be instilled within the people for them to abide by the laws and be what they are expected to be as citizens. However, there are just some people who did not believe in my ideals. That made them create parties in contradiction to my objectives as the President of the country.
Who is Corazon Aquino, and how do you feel about her?
I guess everyone knows who Corazon Aquino is. She is widowed to Ninoy Aquino, the man I was never in good terms with. She just started bashing into my party since the horrible incident that had happened to her husband. I do not have any idea why she is doing this to my party, but all I know is I wouldn't let her acquire my power.
It was on the newspapers, radio, and television, and everyone assumes that the assassinator responsible for Aquino's death is from your party. What can you say about this?
Well, you cannot say something just like that if you do not have any proof. That's all I can say.
Okay, I respect that. How is she a threat to your ideals?
I do not believe in democracy, as much as I do not believe in the Aquinos. They have just been bashing into my party, and I have just had enough of them. Corazon Aquino had always attempted to steal power from me, and I would never, ever let that happen.
Why are you trying to impose dictatorship and socialism in the country?
I believe that dictatorship and socialism is the key to progression. Through instilling fear on the citizens, they would have no choice but to follow my ways and be good citizens of the country.
Mr. Marcos, do you think socialism is effective?
I do believe it's effective. People think that it's a form of inequality amongst society, but I absolutely disagree. If they only abide by the laws and support my party, then I don't think there would be any problem. As president, I have been trying my best to make this country a better place for everyone. If only each individual cooperated, then we would all benefit from this.
How do you plan on restoring the peace back to the Philippines?
Once my people understand that I want the best for them, once they understand that I am not the enemy, peace will be restored. It is just because of the Aquinos that the Philippines have become an uproar.
Ms. Aquino, what role do you play in the revolution?
Ninoy always wanted democracy to prevail in the country. He always believed that each individual should acquire freedom and equality. However, unfortunately, he is no longer here to fulfill that mission. This is why I am here now, hopefully with the support of the Filipinos, to fulfill Ninoy's mission and fight for democracy.
Ms. Aquino, since your husband was assassinated, who do you believe is the prime suspect? Do you feel supported even though everyone told Mr. Aquino not to come back to the Philippines?
Well, I wouldn't want to assume of people who might have been suspects to this incident. However, ironic as it may sound, Ninoy's death made me and my family feel more the undying support of the nation.
What do you plan to do if you're elected as the next and first female president in the Philippines?
Well, though I'll be running for presidency to replace Marcos, being the president isn't really what I am here for. It may be part of it, but acquiring power isn't really my goal in here. As I said, I would just like to fulfill Ninay's mission and restore democracy the Filipino has been longing for.
Mrs. Aquino, if you do win, how will you restore the peace back to the Philippines?
I believe that providing people with enough freedom and rights would grant peace to our nation. So that's exactly what I will do. I will listen to their wants and needs and make them feel that there is democracy existing in our nation, since they have been hungry for this for almost 20 years now.
Why should the people of the Philippines vote for you?
Well, the citizens would be more comfortable in a democratic environment, in contrast to a government enforcing fear. I know that the Filipinos have been longing for freedom for so long now, and I wouldn't want them to remain hungry and thirsty for it. This is why I am here, and that's exactly what I will bring them. But everyone really has a choice, and I am leaving that decision to them.
Thank you, Alex Tyson, for that very informative interview with the two most important people who are currently in the hot spot since President Marcos and Widow Aquino have been running for the presidency.